$60,000. That is how much most people think they need to buy a $300,000 house. 20% down. And because they do not have $60,000 sitting in a savings account, they assume they cannot buy a home. So they keep renting, year after year, waiting for a number they may never reach. Here is the truth. You do not need 20% down to buy a house. You might not even need 10%. Depending on the loan program, you might not need any money down at all. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly how much you really need for a down payment in 2026, break down every loan program and its minimum requirement, explain where your down payment money can come from, and show you how to access programs that can hand you thousands of dollars in free money toward your home purchase. Let's start with the myth that started all of this, the 20% rule. 20% down is not a requirement to buy a home. It never was a requirement for most buyers. It is a recommendation that financial advisors and older generations have repeated so many times that people started treating it as law. What 20% actually does is eliminate private mortgage insurance, also known as PMI. That is it. If you put down less than 20% on a conventional loan, you pay PMI, which typically costs between $50 and $250 a month, depending on your loan amount and credit score. Once you build 20% equity in the home, PMI goes away. So the real question is not, do I have 20%? It is how much do I actually need, and am I willing to pay mortgage insurance until I hit 20% equity? For most first-time buyers, the answer is yes. Because waiting 5 more years to save $60,000 while rents keep climbing and home prices keep rising is almost always more expensive than just paying PMI now. Here are the real down payment minimums by loan type in 2026. Conventional loans, 3% down. On a $300,000 home, that is $9,000. You need a credit score of at least 620 for most lenders, and you will pay PMI until you reach 20% equity. FHA loans, 3.5% down with a credit score of 580 or higher. On a $300,000 home, that is $10,500. If your credit score is between 500 and 579, the minimum jumps to 10%. FHA also charges an upfront mortgage insurance premium of 1.75% plus annual MIP that typically stays for the life of the loan. VA loans, 0% down. If you are a veteran, active military, or an eligible surviving spouse, you can buy a home with absolutely no money down. VA loans also have no monthly mortgage insurance. There is a one-time funding fee that ranges from 1.25 to 3.3%, depending on your service history and down payment, but it can be rolled into the loan. VA is the single best mortgage product available in America. USDA loans, 0% down. If you are buying in an eligible rural or suburban area, USDA loans require no down payment at all. There are income limits. Your household income generally cannot exceed 115% of the area median income. USDA charges a 1% upfront guarantee fee and a 0.35% annual fee, both lower than FHA insurance. So let's put this in perspective. On a $300,000 home, here is what each program actually requires out of pocket. Conventional at 3%, $9,000. FHA at 3.5%, $10,500. VA, 0. USDA, 0. Compare that to $60,000 at 20%, and you can see why the myth is so dangerous. It keeps qualified buyers on the sidelines for years. Now, here is something that changes the game for a lot of first-time buyers, where your down payment money can come from. Most people assume you need to have the full amount saved in your own bank account from your own paychecks. That is not true for every loan program. FHA loans allow 100% of your down payment to come from gift funds. That means a family member, your employer, a close friend, or a charitable organization can give you the entire 3.5%. You just need a signed gift letter confirming the money does not need to be repaid. Conventional loans also allow gift funds, but some lenders require you to contribute at least 5% from your own savings if you are putting down less than 20%. Rules vary by lender, so ask. VA and USDA loans allow gift funds as well, though since both require zero down, gifts are more commonly used toward closing costs. And then there are down payment assistance programs, and this is where it gets really interesting. Every single state in the country has at least one down payment assistance program for first-time homebuyers. Many states have multiple programs. These come in 4 main forms: grants, free money that never has to be repaid. Some programs offer 3 to 5% of the purchase price as a straight grant. Forgivable loans. You receive the money as a second mortgage, but if you stay in the home for a certain number of years, the loan is completely forgiven. Many programs forgive after 5 to 15 years. Deferred payment loans, no monthly payments required. You pay the money back only when you sell the home, refinance, or pay off the first mortgage. Low-interest second mortgages. You make small monthly payments on the assistance loan alongside your primary mortgage. These programs can provide anywhere from $3,000 to over $100,000, depending on your location. New York City's Home First program offers up to $100,000. The Federal Home Loan Bank of New York provides grants up to $30,000. Bank of America offers a down payment grant of up to $10,000 in select markets. And nearly every state housing finance agency has its own version. The catch is that most of these programs have income limits, require homebuyer education courses, and are only available to first-time buyers, which FHA defines as someone who has not owned a home in the past 3 years. So how do you find the programs available in your area? Start with your state housing finance agency website. Every state has one. You can also search HUD's website for local programs by state and county. And when you talk to lenders during the pre-approval process, ask them directly what assistance programs they participate in. Not every lender offers every program, which is another reason to shop around. Now, before we talk strategy, I need to mention something that catches a lot of first-time buyers off guard: closing costs. Your down payment is not your only upfront expense. Closing costs typically run between 2 and 5% of the loan amount. On a $300,000 home, that could be $6,000 to $15,000 on top of your down payment. Closing costs include things like the appraisal fee, title insurance, attorney fees, prepaid property taxes and homeowners insurance, lender origination fees, and recording fees. Some of these costs can be negotiated. You can ask the seller to contribute toward your closing costs. This is called a seller concession. FHA allows seller concessions up to 6%. Conventional allows 3 to 9% depending on your down payment. And some down payment assistance programs also cover closing costs, not just the down payment itself. So when you are budgeting for your home purchase, make sure you account for both the down payment and closing costs. Your lender will give you a loan estimate within 3 business days of your application that breaks down exactly what your closing costs will be. Now let me talk strategy. How should you think about your down payment as a first-time buyer? First, do not drain your savings to hit a bigger down payment number. You need reserves after closing. You need money for moving costs, immediate repairs, furniture, and emergencies. The general recommendation is to keep at least 3 to 6 months of expenses in the bank after your down payment and closing costs are paid. Putting every dollar into the down payment and closing with an empty bank account is one of the most dangerous mistakes first-time buyers make. Second, if you can comfortably put down 10% or more, consider it. A larger down payment means a smaller loan, a lower monthly payment, and less interest paid over the life of the mortgage. It also gets you closer to that 20% mark where PMI drops off. Third, do not let the perfect number stop you from starting. If you have 3.5% and qualify for FHA, you are ready. If you have zero down and qualify for VA or USDA, you are ready. Waiting to save 20% while home prices rise 3 to 5% per year means the goalpost keeps moving. Fourth, talk to a lender before you assume you cannot afford a home. Between low down payment programs, gift fund rules, and down payment assistance, you may be closer to homeownership than you think. A 20-minute conversation with the right loan officer can completely change your timeline. The math almost always favors buying sooner with a smaller down payment over waiting to save a bigger one. The equity you build and the appreciation you gain while owning typically outpace the cost of mortgage insurance. If this was helpful, hit subscribe. We break down everything first-time homebuyers need to know every single week in plain English. No jargon, no fluff, just the information that actually matters. I will see you in the next one.